Okay, this video is going to be a quick one about the different types of mechanical energy that we're going to be seeing. And first one let's talk about is gravitational potential energy. Potential energy. Pretty easy concept here. If you have an object that is above the ground, and it's above the ground by a certain height, we'll call that h, and you know the object has a certain mass m, then we can say it has a certain amount of gravitational potential energy equal to mgh. Easy formula. Don't forget that the units are always going to be in joules. That's our units for energy. As long as you keep the mass in kilograms and you keep the height in meters, and then you use G, make sure your G is in meters per second squared, then automatically it's going to turn out to be in joules. So that works out pretty well. All right, next one we're going to do is going to be kinetic energy. Let's get that going. Kinetic energy. And we usually label that one KE. Also pretty easy. If you have an object that's in motion, has a certain speed v, and you know the mass of the object, then the kinetic energy is just 1/2 mv squared. Easy also. Next thing we're going to move on to is what we call elastic potential energy. Elastic potential energy. Now this one can actually be kind of tricky, and we're really going to idealize it. So we're just going to look at a very ideal form of it. And the way we're going to do that is if we take a spring and then we stretch the spring by a certain length. Let me redraw that actually. Let's see here. So there's our spring at rest. And then what we're going to do is we're going to stretch that spring by a certain length. We're going to call that x. What we also have to know about the spring is we have to know what the spring constant is, k, for the spring. K is spring constant. And if we know those two things, then we can easily write down that the elastic potential energy is 1/2 kx squared. So that's that. Those are our three types of energy that we are going to be taking a look at.